Our lacrosse season this past year has started off very rough. It's a tough season for us because we've lost the games that we've wanted to win, and losing for us is very tough. Since we are a new team, we're upcoming, we've realized that the reason that we've been losing is because all we think about is the statistics and how many goals a player could get and how many ground balls a person could get, rather than a whole team, and rather than our whole team winning. So the first time we won this season was this past weekend, and we realized that it was because we were thinking as a unit. We were thinking as a unity, as a team, as a real team. So when the Chinese proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now, I interpret this to be it's never too late to improve. And I agree with this because it can only get better, and because the only way to go is up once you've reached the bottom. One way it can only get better is by getting an F on a paper. You can't get a G on a paper. So when I got an F on my paper last semester, although it was hard and sad for me and I didn't know what I was doing wrong, I decided to go to the writing lab and I got better and I made my paper better. And so I ended up getting a B on the paper. So for me, the only way that I was to get better was to get more help. Another way that it can only get better is Vincent van Gogh. He wanted to be a minister, but when he realized that the ministry wasn't a place for him, he decided to stop that career, and he decided to make his life better because he wasn't happy with it. So he wanted to paint, and what he did was paint. So he started to do paintings that many people thought were beautiful, and it spoke to them, and it was interesting to them, and from that he made millions and millions of dollars. So by leaving the ministry and by pursuing something that he loved, he made money from it, and that's how his life became much better than what it could have been when he was in the ministry. Another example of how it's never too late to improve is because the only way to go is up once you've reached the bottom. A perfect example of this would be from the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. The main character was a very poor man, even with a wife, and once his wife left him, he was stuck with his child and himself, and he didn't know how to provide. So he decided to make a machine that he decided to go house to house to try to sell to companies and other big corporations. So when he did that, he realized that it wasn't working out, so he got a job as a telemarketer, and he slowly moved up from there. So from that, he began to get money, and he began to provide for him and his family. So he stopped sleeping in bathrooms and subways because of not having enough money and not being able to provide, rather than going after his dreams and trying to make a difference in his life. Another example would be breaking a bone. When you break a bone, you can't really do anything, especially for an athlete. You feel defeated. You feel like something else has taken over your body rather than yourself. And so when you do break a bone, you've reached rock bottom. So from that, you heal, and you realize that you need to heal. So once you do heal, you just get back up and you start all over again. And depending on which bone it is and which sport you play, physical therapy is included, and from the sport or from how bad the bone fracture is, you need that much time to heal and process and get back to where you were and get back to the top. So when the Chinese proverb says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now, I interpret this to be that it's never too late to improve, because although we did have a rocky beginning, we are slowly improving every game, and from the win that we got last weekend, we're planning on getting a win tomorrow and on Friday, and for the next coming games that we have ahead.